Hello, friends, and welcome to another edition of Skill Building Tuesday. So today on the schedule, welcome, Jamie, to Skill Building Tuesday. Glad to have you here. So today we're doing a little bit on time management. Now this is, I have a bunch of points on time management. But at the beginning of each year, what you want to do is you want to determine how many days you're going to work and then basically subtract 10% to account for the days when you are sick or when you just flake out. It will take away the guilt you feel. So typically speaking, we have 5 days a week and out of 52 weeks. So assuming you're going to take 2 weeks off minimum, I think it's kind of works out to work about 250. I don't know what would be 50 times 5 is 250 days, right? But who wants to work 50 weeks in a year? So I typically, I think in most people, most Canadians would work 220 days a week would be considered a pretty big real estate thing. And I have had years of 270 days of work. But and I've had days of, like 160, but I think 220 is very realistic. So and maybe that includes the sick days kind of thing. So point 2, you want to schedule, your schedule should always be based on the goals that you have set for the year and not anything else. So this year I've piled up a lot of my goals in terms of my production to happen in the first. I think I'm going to be able to do all the production I want to do in the first 6 months of the year. And then coast. And typically speaking, in our market here in Calgary, we do most of our business, like a lot of our business is the busiest time of year is often February, March, April. Certainly that was the case last year. And from actually the March, looking at the numbers, March was the highest sales and it basically just went down all the way to December, although we had a record-breaking year in terms of number of sales. Next point, be careful not to create a schedule based upon someone else's production because every schedule is designed individually. Point next, having a precise schedule can solve almost every production problem you have, provided you follow it. So you want to follow your schedule. And if you have a production problem, you want more deals, goals, it's basically just a tight schedule. You want to treat your business as if it was a real job, which makes your schedule easier to follow. So, you've all maybe had jobs, or some of you haven't, but you have to show up at a certain time, and generally you finish at a time. Then you have scheduled breaks and lunch, that sort of thing. You should treat it like a job. Real estate, that's a funny thing about real estate. You don't really have a boss, although you can think of your seller as a boss. But then you can get fired too, right? So and we get fired occasionally from our sellers, and basically it's from not showing up and not doing a good job. Point next, if you limit the amount of time you work, you force yourself to be effective in the time that you do work. Do the most productive thing possible for 30 minutes every hour. And what are some of the most productive things on real estate? Is prospecting, we got prospecting is one of the most things, lead follow-up, going on presentations, and negotiating contracts. So those are the most productive things. So you want to keep track of your hours. So if you find that you're wondering where did all the time go, you want to keep track of your time hour by hour for 2 weeks to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the time management system. All right, so send a copy to your accountability partner or your coach. All right. And your daily schedule should be kept in place where it's seen by many people. Accountability is critical. Post it in several places. To create a stronger focus on personal motivation and time management, where are the places you would like to go, the things you'd like to do, and the things you would like to have? We've asked our team to create a vision board, and include some of those things. When I was creating my goals this year, I created a vision board first, and then I actually created my goals around that vision board. And my vision board tended to have things, things I want to do, places I want to go, and things I'd like to have. Point next, not having strong personal goals and objectives will always cause a time management problem. So if you don't have strong goals, there's just no rush, no hurry. You'll kind of coast along. And again, in this business, it's pretty easy to coast along and have a reasonably earn reasonably good money, or at least a survival living. But if you want to create a great life, it's important to have strong accountabilities and goals. Just so you know, everyone, if you have a question or you want to raise anything up, just go ahead and say it. I have everyone on mute at this point. Almost everyone. Everyone. So look carefully for what doesn't work in your schedule, and talk to your accountability, your coach, about it, and change it. What's not working? Follow your schedule is simply devoting a habit like any habit you have. The more often you do it, the easier it becomes. Remember, it takes time to create a habit. Point next, the more clear you are as to what you want to accomplish, the more sense your schedule will make to you, and the easier it will be to follow. Okay, so what do you want to accomplish? And then set that schedule around that to live it. Be prepared to review your goals or revise them, and more importantly, edit your schedule every quarter. So every quarter, you have a close look at your schedule. Is it working? Is it what needs to be revised? Remember that working 5 days a week is normal, and working 7 days a week is not normal. Okay, we need breaks. Which days of the week are you taking off? In terms of the training I've gotten from my long time coach, Mike Ferry, there are 3 segments to a day, a perfect day. The morning routine, which is from the time you get up until about 11:30. And then there's the early afternoon routine from 12 to 3 p.m. And then there's presentation time from 3 to 7 p.m. Mastering your morning routine, we call it money time. The most important time of your day is between the time you get up and 12 noon. Okay, we call this the money making time, morning around 9 to 12. And there's nothing in your personal or business life that can't wait till noon. Put everything on pause, on hold. Give your phone, forward it to your assistant. You don't want to have any interruptions. You want to minimize the interruptions you have between 9 and 12. Potentially you check your phone every 15 minutes or something, like after every 45 minutes. Having a little mindset break. Point next, your morning schedule should be untouchable, concrete, intense, and productive. I remember when I first got into real estate, and my wife was working as a school teacher and young kids and stuff, and it was suggested to me that, well, it's a good thing you're in real estate because you're so flexible. You can do the grocery shopping and the laundry and the cooking. And I did that for a little bit in my early years of real estate, sort of trying to be flexible. But finally I was like, no, I can't do this. There's never a haircut. I need a haircut. There was never a dentist appointment during my prospecting time. Basically, my morning was untouchable from pretty much 8 a.m. to about 12 noon. Point next, the afternoon schedule should be set aside for lead follow-up, previewing property, pre-qualifying buyers and sellers, and going on appointments. If you have additional time, prospect. Point next, since we can't let anything interrupt or delay a listing appointment, the highest value money-making activity is a listing appointment. Don't let anything interrupt your morning prospecting appointment. You have a morning prospecting appointment. Generally, it's from 9 till 12. Prospecting is the core of the business that makes everything happen. Point next, create a perfect schedule for yourself. Here's an example based on a 5-day work week. Okay. So, you're working full time. If you're working full time as a realtor, you're going to do a minimum of 24 deals. Minimum of 2 a month, assuming your skills are, low, and you're not really, your schedule's not really strong. but you're going to work 5 days a week. You're going to arrive at the office. This is a perfect schedule. Arrive at the office at 7:30. From 7:30 to 8, check your messages. Check your for sale by owners. If you're in the kind of market that allows it, check your expireds. From 8 to 8:30, call for appointments, doing any administrative work. So the strong lead follow-ups, those buyers, those sellers that actually want to move, you're calling them, as soon as 8 a.m. till 8:30. So strong lead follow-up. From 8:30 to 9, you're going to role play on your scripts. You might write your scripts. You just want to know that stuff. From 9 till 12, you're prospecting. If you are out, call the office or check your messages every hour on the hour. Okay, so if you're like in a schedule or out showing properties or something, check your messages every hour or so. And on the hour is a good little thing to manage. So then moving on with the perfect schedule from 12 to 1, it's a lunch and relax. From 1 to 1:30, return calls and do administrative work. From 1:30 to 2, it's lead follow-up and pre-qualify any appointments. And then from 2 to 2:30, necessary administrative work. From 2 to 3, take a break and refresh yourself for the balance of the workday. And from 3 to 7, prepare for appointments, go on appointments, or do additional prospecting. So for many, many years, my schedule looked very much like this. I was actually in the office by 7:30 all the time and worked till 7 p.m. at night. With the afternoon having a little more flexibility and maybe some flakiness. As long as you're prospecting strong in the morning for those 2 or 3 hours that you decide, then it'll all take care of itself. And so your afternoon becomes, as Mike Ferry would say, controlled chaos, your afternoon and evening, if you work hard in the morning. Okay. And all those calls that you made with your phone, people are returning your call in the afternoon, that sort of thing, while you're out on appointments, hopefully. Last point, this is a bonus point. Give a copy of your schedule to your staff, to your broker, manager, your coach, your team leader. And the more people that you hold, and your clients, it's a great idea to give your schedule to your clients. The more people that hold you accountable, the better off you are. And how about you folks? What are you excited about in your schedule this year? Has anyone made any changes starting, the first week of January? And what are you implementing that's new that you're trying out? What are you convinced works? I can volunteer you if I don't hear from someone soon.
I'm doing what I call 1 month of hell and then going to alternating weekends. So for all of January, I'm working at least 8 hours Monday to Friday and 4 hours Saturday and Sunday.
Good. Which 4 hours in Saturday and Sunday are you going to work?
Sorry?
Which 4 hours of Saturday and Sunday did you decide you would work?
I'm working from 8 till noon.
Okay, good.
And if I wake up late because I stayed up too late, whenever I wake up, that's when I start working and I go for 4 hours. And that's for January. Then for the rest of Q1 till the March break when we go to Cabo, I'll be taking every other weekend off and maintaining the same structured schedule. And then I'm going to revise after Q1.
Beauty. Anybody else like to share?
I set up some accountability with Ben there, and I am just locking in my morning routine and basically getting my prospecting done, 20 contacts done before noon daily as best as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And then leaving the afternoon for, being out and about, appointments, buyer consultations, and money-making activities.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Schedules all around making the most money.
Life is so great when you actually hit your contact goal by 12 noon. It's just like, you can just kind of then go, relax, and then, add additional stuff on top of it.
Yeah. No, and for me, I'm kind of similar to Jake. Jake and I got that accountability going for schedule. I'm pretty stoked because of my little freaking daily planner here, tracking where my actual productivity goes, tracking where my my time is spent and how I can adjust as I kind of week to week or day to day. And then I'm also doing a new thing this year that I'm trying out to see how it goes. Working 1 week, I'll work Monday to Saturday, and then the next week I'll work Tuesday to Friday, and rotating. So I work Saturday every other weekend. And that way I'm still allowing myself some time off and to avoid burnout, but still having the weekends close enough together that I can still move weekend appointments.
Awesome. It sounds great. Anybody, has anyone thought about doing, so if you're like, I hear there's some pretty good schedules. It's early in the year. Has anyone thought about doing additional prospecting? You hit your 20 contacts, for example, or you hit your contact goal by noonish. And have you thought about more additional prospecting, say between 4 and 6 or 5 and 7? Has anyone thought about that and incorporating that into their schedule?
Yeah,
So what I
I'm planning
generally do-
like
go
at
ahead, Jacob.
least every second Sunday. I mean, I'm planning to work most Saturdays. I have it all on my calendar, which was another thing I did, is went ahead by the month and planned out my working days. But I'll be working most Saturdays, and then I think Sunday evenings, you've talked about that, like 90 minutes on Sunday evenings, how valuable that is.
Even
I'd
90
like to do
minutes
that
on,
at least every second Sunday.
yeah, that's great. And as close to 8 p.m. as possible, meaning 6:30 to 8 p.m. on a Sunday evening is gold. And then Saturday, if you can work 90 minutes, 3 hours is awesome. I think 4 hours is going to kill you, Calvin. And like 4 hours on Sunday, like what, Calvin, I'm going to ask you, why don't you just try to like work 90 minutes on Sunday? If you're working 4 hours on Saturday, do 90 minutes on Sunday, as close to 8 p.m. as possible. Give yourself a little break, especially, did I hear you say you might start prospecting at 8 a.m. on a Sunday?
No, I already am starting around 8 or 9 a.m.
Yeah, 9 a.m. I find it really difficult to prospect at 8 a.m. on a Sunday. 9 a.m. is better. But I encourage you, you don't want to beat yourself up too bad, and you probably need a little break. So I might like try to relax yourself a little bit on Sunday. And then that gives you a stronger Saturday. Like really be serious with those 4 hours on Saturday. Obviously you're doing it out of a need to like get up to some level. And so I would encourage you to reduce the number of hours on Sunday so that you're just not feeling complete burnout. So this Sunday, think about like even just doing 90 minutes of awesome calling. Like you could hammer out 15 contacts in 90 minutes on a Sunday between 6:30 and 8 p.m.
Okay.
So I just give yourself a little bit of a break on that Sunday. I think hammer out the 4 hours on Saturday. Try and get it done fairly early in the day. Not later than 2 o'clock, for example, so that you kind of a bit of half day off or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, folks, that was a little bit on time management. I appreciate you guys all showing up, and hope you got something out of today's workshop. We'll be doing this again next Tuesday. Look for my email invite sometime between Monday and first thing Tuesday morning. But happening, I think this year probably. I don't know if I love this time. 1 p.m. is MST time. I might move it up a little bit next week, but we'll try to get consistent very soon. Without further ado, thank you. BH out.